On this episode of The Best of Bias, you got your boy, you know who it is, Light Out of Narrow back on a special Saturday. It's Saturday, I shaved up, you know what I'm saying? Look at the boy looking all fresh and clean. But it's 420 today, y'all. Where all my celebrators at? Where all my 420 affiliates, you know what I'm saying? Roll one up, light one up for me wherever you are today. Love the day. Enjoy the day. And just, relax. You know what I'm saying? You enjoy it. You work so hard during the week. You know what I mean? You got the Best of Bias podcast on. Let's enjoy 420. I got a lot to talk about today. We got the playoffs starting. Not a lot in pop culture, but a lot in sports. You know what I mean? Get back into the sports. We got playoffs, Olympic talk, WrestleMania pass. I didn't talk about that last time I was on. How can I not talk about WrestleMania? It's the first one I paid attention to in a long time. The WNBA draft. Drake actually responds and drop and give me 50. I haven't gave you guys my response on that. I'm a little behind. You know what I'm saying? Because I drop on Friday, Saturday. You hear everybody else giving their takes, and you think you hear all the takes that can possibly be had, but you ain't heard the Best of Bias take yet. So we got a lot to talk about. A little bit of time to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to keep it down to a little hour so y'all can enjoy the holiday. But if you want to throw it on while you light something up, rolling something up out there at Hippie Hill, wherever you are today, enjoying the holiday, it's your boy. Shout out, rest in peace, Granny. It's your birthday, so we usually celebrate doing something kind of family like. I got my towel today too, guys. It's hot in here. I don't understand why it's so hot in this stew. But if you see me wiping myself off spontaneously, just let you know I still want to drip to drop on this Nuggets jersey. You know what I'm saying? Playoff starting. You know what the Nuggets is about to do. We try to go back to back, but I'll get there in a little bit. But welcome. I guess that was long talking, but I like to say no long talking. Let's get into this podcast, the Best of Bias podcast, Saturday. Best of Bias podcast, Light Up and Narrow, nobody else. I'm sorry, but let's talk, shall we? Where that theme song at? It's right here. It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Light Down the Narrow, back with some news for y'all, man. How y'all feeling today? Today is Saturday. Y'all probably putting something in the air, feeling a little bit. You probably floating right now already by the time you listen to this. If it's the first thing you putting on before you roll up, hey man, again, enjoy the holiday. One of my favorite holidays of the year. People like they holiday season, like they Christmases, they New Year's, they Valentine's Day and shit, Thanksgiving. I like 420, bro, especially when it falls on a weekend and you don't have to, nobody calls off of work for 420 because that's like high school type shit. You're gonna go get high, we ain't gonna go to work. Nah, you got a real job, you gotta go to work, so you ain't calling in for that. So for the fact that it's on a Saturday this year, let's all enjoy together and listen to the Best of Bias podcast who, what I'm saying, you know, who knows? I mean, it's ironic that I dropped on Saturday, you know what I'm saying? Just so happens to be cool this week that I did that. But anyways, let's get into it, man. WrestleMania again. It was a couple of weeks ago, but I like to go back a couple of weeks when we talk about our pop culture and sports. And me as a wrestling guy growing up, that kind of fell out of it and actually saw what was going on this WrestleMania as, the Vince McMahon stuff. I talked about that on previous podcasts, but seeing that The Rock kind of stepped over, got on the board of the WWE and then actually entered himself back into the arena for WrestleMania, changed his name to the Final Boss and kind of just changed the storylines in the WWE. It was just kind of cool to see. WrestleMania in particular, I watched the full first day and I was being introduced to a lot of people that were new to me. You know what I'm saying? The tag team matches, the ladder match, a lot of the tag team partners, and a lot of the women wrestlers I'm actually fairly new to. So getting to see them get down is really cool. But then with the nostalgic play of The Rock being in there with Roman Reigns going against going against Cody Rhodes, and who else was it? Who else was the other guy? I forgot the other guy that was fighting with Cody Rhodes when it was The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and somebody else. His name is just slipping my mind, but um, yeah, it was epic. It was an epic first day. The second day had a lot of stuff, special appearances. It was in Philly, So we got guest appearances from NFL lineman Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey. We saw a whole bunch of stuff. The Rock was involved, so so they had to bring back more OGs as well. The Dudley Boys came out. We saw Undertaker, Randy Orton, John Cena, many more, like so many, and you name it, they were there. You know what I mean? And at least having an appearance there. They integrated a whole bunch of social media stars, people that are really popular. Of course, the Jake Pauls of the world, Speed, and some social media kind of like I would say like what are they? What are they? Content creator kind of people. It's cool to see, man. WWE is growing. Not only has it been around for a long time, people thought actually it was gonna fall off and just kind of lose its luster, but the integration, the sponsorship of Prime, just the integration of younger fans, the older fans with the nostalgia play, having the old and young uh acts kind of merge together and become this whole new thing that brings different groups of people into the fray is kind of cool in my eyes. And yeah, it's awesome to see it happening. What else happened there? Oh yeah, and then just for The Rock and I shout out Roman Reigns just for him fighting cancer and coming back to the WWE to try to you know fight for that title and being able to do all the stuff he was able to do fighting leukemia. You know what I'm saying? They say the cancer did come back and he's actually fighting it currently, and you could see it in his weight. He was really in shape, but he was really skinny compared to what he used to be. You can kind of tell he was fighting something. So that was interesting to see. It's really cool to see him out there, him and The Rock, throwing it all out there. The Uso brothers, I didn't know Rakishi's sons, the Uso brothers were from San Francisco. There's a lot of representation out there. It was cool to see, man. If you were watching, comment down below. You see the sweat? I don't know why I'm sweating so much. This is craziness right now. Trying to fix it, but I don't seem to be able to fix it. Make sure it's not the fan's not directly in the. Sorry, you guys, if you hear the fan this episode. It is really hot in here. I'm gonna melt if I don't put the fan on, but it was cool. Shout out Peacock for hosting it for free. If you had Peacock, you were able to watch WrestleMania for free. So that was epic as well. The coverage was nonstop and it was cool for 2 days straight, man. I knew it was 2 days, but I didn't know it was 2 days packed like that. No wonder it's been behind a pay-per-view paywall for all these years. But yeah, that's dope. That's dope. But moving into NBA, because I know that's what you guys all want to hear. But shout out wrestling, man. It's making a comeback in a big way. I've started watching it a lot more after WrestleMania, the SmackDowns and the Raws, AEWs of the world, just kind of see who all the people are and see if some of the legends. Rey Mysterio was there. I love my Rey Mysterio. Like a bunch of my favorite wrestlers that were still involved in wrestling now from when I was a kid actually got out there at WrestleMania. So it was super nostalgic. All the stars were there. Seeing them interact with the wrestlers and just show love is just cool. It was a cool ass event. But anyways, NBA. But yeah, we have recently, during this week and last week, been seeing the play-in tournament all season long. We've known that the 10, 9, 8, 7 seeds all will eventually have to play in the play-in tournament. We just didn't know who was actually going to be in the play-in tournament. We know that the Lakers and the Warriors, I always start with the West, we're fighting it out to see who's going to be the number 9 and 10 seed. The number 7 seed doesn't really always have it that good, but the number 7 seed just has to win one game in order to stay the 7 seed. The 7 and 8 play, and if the 8 seed loses, if the team team that loses that 7 and 8 seed game still has a chance to win against the 9 and 10 seed game, and the winner of that game gets the 8 seed. So there's been a lot of that going on. The Lakers played the Pelicans in the first playing game. And then we had the Warriors and the Kings play as well for the play-in. The Lakers were actually able to beat the Pelicans. I do not have the final score. Let me get that. Let me get that up there for you real quick, just so I ain't slacking on my Mac end. Let me see. NBA. Bam. Bam. So the Warriors lost 118 to 94. The Lakers won 110 to 106. It was actually a really good game with the Lakers because the Lakers were winning by like 18 points at one point. And then Zion Williamson single-handedly came back and brought the Pelicans within shooting distance. I mean, literally tied the game towards the end of the game. But Zion Williamson, as he was tying the game, I guess, tweaked his hamstring going up and scoring. So he had to leave the game abruptly when the game was tied. After that, the Lakers were able to close out the game and finish it out. We're able to get the win 110 to 106. LeBron had 23, 9, and 9. AD had 20, 15, no assists. D'Angelo Russell, who's actually presenting to be an X Factor, 5 3-pointers, 21 and 6, 21.6 assists. Austin Reeves, 16, Hachimura, 13, Taurean Prince, 6. I thought he had 22. He played 22 minutes, but yeah, they actually got it done. So they were able to secure that 7 seed. So the 8 seeded game right now is being played. I believe it's Pelicans versus the Kings to see who gets that 8 seed. And the Kings are currently winning. Oh, actually, the Pelicans are currently winning 69-61 as we speak. On the East side, anyways, the Bulls played Atlanta for the 9-10 seed. The Bulls won. On the 7-8 seed, they had who was the 7-8 seed? I forgot who the Heat played the first game. Philly. Philly was the actual, I think they were the 7 seed. And they other the 8 seed, and they beat Miami, so they swapped. So now Miami is playing the Bulls. Actually, they beat the Bulls for that 8 seed, and they're making the playoffs, and they're playing the Celtics first round. So the plan was good. We actually Adam Silver, putting that into place. Everybody was kind of skeptical about it at first, but it actually turned out to be something that's actually pretty beneficial for the league. It's more games, more TV, gives the teams chances at the 9 and 10 seed to make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It's good TV, good games. The playing tournament was a little different. I mean, the in season tournament was a little different, a little excessive. I don't know if that's really necessary, especially so early in the season. But the play-in tournament has been proven to be a success, and it's a cool way to see who gets into the tournament, the big tournament. And yeah, so West wise, we have the 1 seeded OKC, and they're going to be playing the winner out of the Kings and the Pelicans game. It's looking like the Pelicans right now. The 2 seed are my Denver Nuggets. Got the 7 seed, who ended up being the Lakers, for winning their playing game against the Pelicans. Minnesota is the 3 seed versus the Suns at the 6 seed. This was already kind of solidified from regular season's turnout. And then Clippers are the 4 seed playing Dallas, the 5 seed, and that wraps up the West. For my predictions in those seeds, OKC, if they play the Pelicans without Zion, I feel like they're gonna probably run through them in 5 games. If Zion does come back and play sometime in the series, I don't know if he's gonna be able to have the impact that he had like he was playing in the Lakers game. So I think OKC probably can just walk through that first round. Denver versus the Lakers. Me personally, I did not want this matchup just because of how the matchups are going all season and how we swept them last year, and just how the motivation may be for LeBron James and the referees and everything to be on his side. Media's on their side. It's just bad mojo for the first round to have. I get it. The Western Conference Finals right before the championship is a big pressure cooker as well to be playing the Lakers, but first round is a little wild because if we don't win the first round, we're out of the playoffs early. And yeah, you definitely don't want to lose to the Lakers and Lakers fans. I just can't see it. Me personally, I'm going to go in for a little bit if you guys don't mind talking about this Nuggets game. But I've been watching us all season, and I do think we have what it takes to win the championship again. I know we lost some games that we should have won, especially that Spurs game towards the end of the season at full strength. But I do think when it's time to tighten the screws and win games we're supposed to win, we can do so, especially in a 7 game series. I don't think anybody is going to be able to beat us 3 times at home personally, or twice at home. So I just think if we're playing right, we can get through the playoffs. I know it's gonna be a tough road no matter who we play. Lakers first is a rough road, you know what I'm saying? But anybody else in the playoffs, if we get there, they're what I'm saying, they have superstars on the team. I'm seeing looking here. OKC has a collection of young players. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is for sure a solidified star, but I wouldn't say OKC necessarily has another star, like you know what I mean, on their team. But everybody else on here, Minnesota, Karl-Anthony Towns, they have Ant Edwards. Suns, they have Bradley Beal, Booker, and KD. Dallas, they have Kyrie and Luka. Clippers, they have Paul George, Kawhi, James Harden, and Russ. So, I mean, the West is stacked. You know what I'm saying? We're just hoping for our team continuity and the wherewithal of last year, the experience from last year, could help us get through this playoffs and just kind of have the same result of last year. So I'm hoping that we, excuse me, take it to the Lakers the first 2 games, especially at home. Still one in LA, maybe game 4, especially if they win game 3, win game 4, and just win game 5 as well. Just 1, 2, 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? 5. You don't have to sweep. I'm not expecting a sweep, but I just want to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna come out here and say hands down we're gonna whoop the Lakers, we're gonna sweep them again. You know what I'm saying? But we're not the Pelicans without Zion, so I think we'll be able to close some games. You know what I mean? In the altitude, hopefully, we can use that to our advantage, like we did in previous years, and just get it done. I don't know that. You guys see that color keep changing as I drop my head? I try to keep my head up here, I guess. Keep my head high. You feel me? But anyways, Eastern Conference, we have the Celtics at the 1 seed, who looks like they're going to be playing, like I said, the Miami Heat. The Knicks are the 2 seeds, and I think they are playing, the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh wait. Let me go back before I go into the rest of those. I didn't give my predictions for the rest of the series. Minnesota versus the Suns. I'm hoping I don't like either one of these teams, but I'm hoping the Suns win. Clippers versus Dallas. I go with Dallas. And those are the first round matchups that I believe it's gonna pop off. But then back to the Celtics. Yeah, they're playing the Heat. Knicks are playing the Philadelphia 76ers. The Bucks are playing the 6-seeded Pacers. The Cavs are playing the 4-seeded Cavs are playing the 5-seeded Magic. Um, I think the Celtics, I mean, if anybody can give the Celtics a hard time, it would be the spoiling Miami Heat. I think Jamie Butler has hurt his ankle again. He hurt his ankle last year too, so it was tough for him in the playoffs, but they still ended up getting to the finals. But I don't know if he's actually going to play much this series against the Celtics. I know they're going to need him for sure. I think they have some rest time. I don't think they play tomorrow. They may. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I don't know if we're going to see Jimmy Butler in that first round series. The Knicks, they don't have Julius Randle. I think Embiid is going to eat on whatever center they have available for the Knicks. So I think that's not even going to be fair. So I think the 76ers are going to win that series. The Bucks versus Pacers. Everybody says the Pacers are going to win due to Giannis Antetokounmpo being out due to I forgot exactly what his injury was, but they said he's probably not going to be available to start the season or start the playoff series. And last year you saw what happens. They got down 2-0 and then try to force Giannis back in against the Heat and they didn't do too well. So hopefully he can get right before he actually tries to come back. If he's not full health, don't come back because after what happened last year, you don't want that shit to happen again this year. Hopefully Dame and Chris Middleton and others could step up and kind of suffice. I know you're not going to be able to replace Giannis with the players they have on the team right now. Giannis is a big loss, but I've seen weirder shit happen in the NBA, so it could be possible. And the Pacers aren't all that. I mean, sheesh. Cavs and Magic, this is gonna be a good series. I'm not too sure who will win this one. It's gonna be scrappy for sure, but I think the star power of the Cavs and Donovan Mitchell will be able to do what they need to do to get past the Magic. So next round, I come with more predictions and stuff for you, just like I did with NFL. You know what I'm saying? I come with the predictions for the playoffs for basketball, but just predicting every game in the NBA would be fucking ridiculous. So you know. But Olympics though, we're still on NBA. We got the Olympic roster for the USA team. The team consists of the following: LeBron James, Steph Curry, KD. We got Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Tyrese Halliburton, Devin Booker, Joel Embiid, who actually I don't know changed his citizenship to be able to play. I don't know exactly what he did, but he's on the American team now, no longer on Congo or Spain or whatever team he was on. Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, and the last spot was given to Kawhi Leonard. At first, we were kind of wondering who was going to be DeRozan, Jalen Brunson, but they actually ended up going with Kawhi Leonard. So I think this team will be pretty good in the Olympics. It's just that these world teams are getting so good. It's just like, uh, yeah, this team is going to be good. I have no doubts that this team can, pull out the gold, but that Serbia team, man, they almost won the championship last year without Jokic. Jokic is playing this year. Canada's playing this. Jamal's playing with Canada this year. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You know what I'm saying? The France team is always playing a little good. They have Wimby now, Wimby and Gobert, and a whole bunch of other French players that are pretty good in the league now. So the world is kind of catching up, but I feel like the roster we put together is actually going to be able to compete and actually be way better than the team that competed in the World or was it the World Cup? A couple of, I think it was last year, that team got blown out the water. It was a bunch of young guys that weren't ready for that stage, but we got to send our best this year. A lot of people opted out. But this year, I think is going to give us the opportunity to show our dominance again. I hope, because a lot of the best players in the league right now are from overseas. And you have these players playing in the Olympics, like Luka playing for Slovenia. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of people. The Franz brothers. I mean the Franz brothers, what's their name? Franz Wagner. The Wagner brothers playing for Germany. So the league has stars spread out all over the place, and the Olympics should be cool this year. What do you guys think? Do you think this team compares to the dream team of old? Do you think this team has accumulated enough stars to not even be fooled within in the Olympics? You think they're gonna walk through everybody? Not even a lot of guys, only 12 guys on the roster. You know what I mean? They could if they extended it to 15, it would probably be kind of crazy to see. They probably have some reserves though, just in case people do get hurt. But I think this team will be good. What do you guys think? Let me know. Next up, we got the WNBA draft. Really big spectacle this year after the success of the WNBA, or excuse me, the NCAA Women's March Madness tournament and all the hype that it got, all the eyes that it got towards it, and a lot of players, a lot of people fell in love with over the season. So to see a lot of them be seniors and juniors that actually went into the draft and get drafted this year was hella cool to see, especially with me being somebody new to WNBA and really getting into it last year, seeing a lot of these players that we saw in I always say WNBA, NCAA women's side doing what they do, just knowing the ballers that Caitlin Clark, who else? Camila Cordozo, Angel Reese, um, Christian Brink, just a bunch of people that are going to add to these teams that are pretty stacks over there in the WNBA. You know, Camila Cordozo and Angel Reese going to the same Chicago Sky team is epic. You got Jewel Lloyd. Is it Jewel Lloyd that's on Indiana now? Oh, no, she's on Seattle. Jewel Lloyd and somebody else went to Seattle. I forgot who exactly went to Seattle to play with her. Um, I think they got Skylar Diggins back over there. Mueller, who played over there on UConn with Paige Becker. I think she got picked up by the Las Vegas Aces, who picked up a sniper with who can pass and D up. So this year's rosters and the influx of young talent coming from college going into the WNBA to mix with the feisty veterans. It's going to be good competition and great to see. They're already talking about expansion teams. They're doing the Bay Area team, the Warriors affiliate, 2025. They're looking at other cities, Denver, I think Oklahoma City, places like that, places that have big NBA markets to try to add the WNBA as well to their market because they see all the eyes and just the players that are just going to be coming to the women's side of basketball and the eyes that are going to be there and the money that's going to be put into it now. It's just all changing. So that incentivizes cities and big markets to actually go out and seek these teams and give opportunities for more teams. There's only 12 WNBA teams, so let's expand that. Let's get a whole bunch. There's 30 in the NBA, so there's room. There's cities that could house multiple teams. So let's see it happen, man. Let's knock out some more sports. Let's get have some more team and have the league be something for more young women to aspire to be a part of, and try hard in athletics to try to get up to a league that's really supported and actually funded. And we saw Caitlin Clark's NBA contract, first pick, only $300,000. I think total for the first 4 years. Yet her Nike contract that she signed got drafted was $20 million at least. And she has a bunch of other endorsements as well. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if women in the WNBA got paid almost the same wages as somebody sitting on the bench for the NBA. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But I think over time, and as we get to see how the success of this year's team, this year's WNBA, Sabrina's there, Stewie's there, all the Las Vegas Aces, all the stars we have to name. Don't let me, sorry if I left your name out, and add this influx of talent. Then you have talent next year. You have Juju Watkins coming out 2 years after that. So it's just gonna be crazy. We're gonna be able to see. I don't know. Actually, Juju might come out after next year. To be honest, I don't know if she'll stay around in college for that long. They have the number one recruiting class coming in USC, so they might actually go far in the tournament next year. Final Four. I think they did Final Four, right? Yeah, Final Four last year or this year. So it only can go up from here. They need to get a little bit better at the center position, if you ask me, as well. And hopefully they're able to give Juju the ball a little more and stop ball hogging. You know what I'm saying? Damn, they could have beat UConn. But yeah, epic. Just to name a couple of draft spots. I know I named a couple, but Caitlin went one to Indiana, the Indiana Fever. Cameron Brink went to the LA Sparks. Camila Cordozo, Chicago, went three to Chicago. Rickea Jackson went four to the Sparks. Yeah, they got Cameron Brink and Rickea. Man, they're gonna be nice. Aaliyah Edwards went to the Washington Mystics at 6. Angel Reese and Aaliyah Edwards is nice at center as well. Angel Reese went to Chicago Sky at 7. Markeisha Davis got signed to the Liberty, who was a sleeper pick as well, can score as a defender, add some defense to that New York Liberty front line because they did get smacked up in the WNBA finals by the Las Vegas Aces because they couldn't really stop nobody. Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson, everybody was getting off. So a little bit more defense is going to go a long way. And again, Nadia Poach, the number 10. Did I call her Mueller? Her name is Nadia Poach. She got drafted to the Las Vegas Aces, the number 10 from UConn that was D'ing up and throwing dimes out there to Page and was trying to get it done, but wasn't able to be, the GOAT out there in South Carolina. But the season should be fun. I will be watching, tune in. I will be giving updates and stuff. I'm gonna be following Sabrina and New York Liberty. Yeah, especially when Juju get in the league, I'm gonna be even more into it. I'm gonna be tracking Caitlin, of course, Angel, Camilla, all the big names. Man, I'm gonna be following them all now that I know a whole bunch of people in the WNBA, especially the incoming class that is legendary. So, shouts out to them for that. Let's see, pop culture, man. What everybody came for. Drake dropped his diss track back, drop and give me 50. Me personally, I liked it. I liked it a lot. The disses, I loved them, man. I loved them. I loved them. But man, the media response is just crazy. I just kind of wish we can all just get the tracks and interpret them ourselves and just kind of like accept them as ourselves and just individuality actually still existed in a way because the group think that is taking place with this. See, I don't want to sound like a hater because I would never hate Drake. No way, no how. I can't say I hate Drake at all or anything like that. I can't say he can't rap because everybody knows Drake has always been up there on the list of rappers for me. A lot of people do fluctuate on my top 10 list, top 5 list of that. But Drake, he's been consistent. He's been very consistent. Me personally, I can separate art from the person that's putting out the art. I can like the person as an artist, but not like the person, or like the person's art, or not like how the person acts or the person's personality, and me still not go out on a limb and say I hate this person just because of that. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of person. When J. Cole dropped his diss track, or actually, let me start even further back. When Like That came out and Kendrick Lamar was throwing out the subliminals and gassing up and turning up and trying to call out people, I liked it. I really did like it because, again, I'm the guy that if you're gonna diss and it's gonna be a big ass diss song, it has to have replayability for me. I'm not gonna listen to a 7-minute diss track of just metaphors and shit of you dissing somebody. I'll listen to it for a first time, analyze it, and be like, "Oh, that was a sick ass diss track." But if you want a diss track that hits hard, have it be like that. Have it be some crazy ass production instrumentation. Then have the song just be a regular song. It ain't gotta be completely this song. But then when it comes down to the verse, all right, go ahead and diss. Just do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Do what Kendrick did. I'm not mad at Drake's response and how he went about it. Drop and Give Me 50 is somewhat of a song that people are out there playing like a club song, and it is a cool response. But me personally, I don't know if it was necessarily for me. I don't know, man. I get it. Drake was shooting that. I'm gonna leave J. Cole's diss track out of this because he bowed out gracefully, and I kind of gave my reflection on that last episode. Kind of felt like it was gonna go this way, or him end up bowing out and apologizing just for the fact well the diss track came out after Kendrick's verse, and I didn't feel like it was that impactful. I think he did say some things, but I feel like it was jokey to the point where it's like, okay, he really does not dislike this person. If I'm gonna have some beef with somebody, I do come from that beef era from the 50 cents and shit when those beef DVDs came out when people was really beefing and fighting with each other. This shit doesn't really seem like that. It seems like it's all going to be in records. And I do respect that. But at the same time, there's a certain level of diss track that I want to hear. You hear everybody that Drake shot at, you hear all the disses, you hear all the insinuations of Kendrick Lamar not getting paid, have to split everything with his manager, this, and that. It's just a whole bunch of I don't know how to say this without it sounding like hate, because I'm not hating. I liked it. I did like the diss, the double entendre laced diss, the precise disses to every person that dissed him throughout the albums of We Don't Trust You, We Still Don't Trust You. I get it. I for sure get it. But at the same time, the way he went about it by leaking it and people didn't know if it was real or if it was AI, I didn't really like that at all. It seems a little bit like industry games to me because nobody ever dropped like 8 leak tracks that sounded like AI that were like fucking well, nobody believed it anyways. But for the fact that something AI leaked, supposedly AI leaked, and somebody just comes out and drops it, I would say maybe 3 or 4 days later as a real track, it just kind of sketchy to me. But it was funny. The jokes and the disses that need to get off. It was a cool little round one. I think Drake will go deeper in the next diss song because that flip at the end of that diss track that he was about to go, that shit, that's what I was talking about. The melodic diss. I'm gonna go melodic on you and make the song slap. I know you can rappity rap 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 rappity rap 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 and throw a little funny. You split so much that your pants might split. Yeah. I get it. I get it. That's funny. That's cool. How you stepping with a size 7 shoes on though? That was easy. When he wrote that down, he was probably giggling his ass off because that was some shit. But just listen to that whole thing right now if you have it in your phone and get to the part where he says like, "That's not the only things I know," and then that shit's about to flip. That's that shit I talk about. If he drops that shit and that shit's anything like this one mixed with some melodic shit where he's singing, going in and out of cadences, oof, it might be dangerous. But I know, me personally, I know Kendrick Lamar is probably gonna have something, because his musical style is already unorthodox. So if you if like that's verse was anything of a little hint to what he's gonna put out, that's why it's probably taking him a little longer. People are putting him on the clock and saying that he needs to respond now. I don't know if he needs to respond as fast as people are saying. I get it. The whole back to back and back in the days, everybody, if somebody dropped a diss track towards you, that response is Mando, or if it was over a certain amount of time, you already lost or conceded defeat. In this case, it's a little bit different, man. It's just weird. It's all how the sequence of events happen. You have Like That come out, charted for 3 weeks, and then Kendrick Lamar is quiet. You have J. Cole has been rapping, putting out these vlogs forever, talking mess about he's the best rapper. Nobody can mess with him. If something happens, we're gonna go out here and spar it out in this rap world. But after that this happens, Cole puts out a response. He takes it off of his album, takes it off of streaming, then apologizes. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like he felt like he knew something was coming that he didn't want to be a part of, and he kind of just bowed out. So the insinuation of shit that's happening as far as these AI leaked tracks, and people not writing their rhymes, just relying on these AI companies and AI to come up with their rhymes and shit like that. Any insinuation of that can definitely be detrimental to one's career. We already saw what happened when Drake got accused of people ghostwriting for him. There's always that question. I don't think anybody, like majority of the fans that Drake has, are gonna love him nonetheless and don't really believe those rumors. But the ones that do kind of sit on that and just kind of harp on him for that are going to forever. And then for the fact that these AI things are coming out and can sound like anybody, the best rappers that aren't noticed, that aren't popular, can get in the booth, put some bars down, and have a rapper sound like they're saying it, and their voice is dangerous because then we don't know if these people are really writing their raps at all anyways. These companies could be partnering with these AI companies and just having the best rappers get in the studio and just paying for these rappers' likeness, like pretty much like, oh, Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, you don't see them that often. You won't be able to prove that they really didn't spit these bars. This company is getting paid to write the best shit possible for these artists so they don't have to work as hard. They get a cut out of the business, the success of the songs. It gets real deep, and I don't really want to get into it like that. Shout out Joe Budden podcast, because this kind of brought this to life for me. It's like, man, this could be really all just consorted to hype up a lot of attention and these people not really be mad at each other. You know what I'm saying? Rick Ross being called out, putting out his diss song a couple of hours after Drake dropped his diss, just calling Drake all kinds of names, white boy, BBL, Drizzy, saying he got a nose job because he didn't want to look black. Just a whole bunch of shit. And him and Drake now arguing online about who's richer, who got a bigger house, whose house is nicer, whose airplane is nicer. Like, god damn. Like, I don't know, this does sound like some industry games used to pin fan bases against each other, to get old catalogs listened to. But nonetheless, man, AI or not, if good music comes out of it and good conversation and good content comes out of it for us to talk about, I'm all with it. Nothing violent is going to happen. I know that. And me personally, again, I'm not trying to hate. Drake has been on this pedestal for so long that I feel like anything he does, nobody feels like, or especially his core base of fans, feel like he can never do any wrong. So for the public to kind of be shifting, just be split sometimes in different ways, whether they're on Rick Ross's side, Kendrick's side, Future and Metro Boomin's side, just seeing Drake's fan base like just have second thoughts, second opinions on some of the stuff that Drake's doing is interesting to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I always wondered how long this 20 years of dominance would last. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been on top for a very long time on some Jay-Z type stuff of his generation. So, and there's been accusations and little things that came out about Drake, and they've never been able to make that big of chips on his armor. The whole Pusha T thing came out, and that didn't really ever be able to take him down. It took him down a notch as far as him being exposed for his son, and then the responses being called off and calls being made to get the beef to stop just because business deals and shit like that were messed up. You know what I'm saying? Drake just kind of says whatever he wants, does whatever he wants. You see him pestering Metro Boomin and Rick Ross online. Seeing Rick Ross go back at him is kind of funny because otherwise he would just be out here unstoppable because Drake feels like he has social media in his hands. He partners with the biggest social media guys, the biggest opinion makers, the academics of the world, the Kai Cenats of the world. So his reach goes so further because that's pretty much what Drake's career is. He reaches out to the younger generation, either pulls them up or helps them get their number ones. You know what I'm saying? So he has the youth and he has the younger people on this side. So no matter what he does, I don't think anybody feels like he can do any wrong. And not trying to say he's the bad guy in the situation because he is being jumped by a lot of people as far as lyrically and being hit with a whole bunch of accusations and ridicule. But I don't know. At a certain point, it's like a lot of these people, so many people, ASAP Rocky, The Weeknd, like Nav, like Ja Morant. It's like at a certain point, is it the one guy or is it everybody else? It's like I don't know. But Kendrick Lamar, I'm supposedly he's coming out with the album in May. Maybe that's why it's taking so long to respond to Drake's drop and Give Me 50. Maybe he's just gonna add it onto that album, just roll it out all together during that. But then again, that all seemed like roll out for both their albums, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, because J. Cole's about to have the Fallout come out. And don't let Drake have another album come out right after that. Don't let it be a joint album and them have a song all together on that shit. Oh my God. There's real shit happening in the world, and we're all being distracted by Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar. But I guess J. Cole bowed out, so it's just Kendrick Lamar, Drake, well, Future, and Rick Ross. I don't know. Good music is coming out of it. We're getting stuff, and I like the debate, man. The attention is always pretty much on hip hop, but this time it's not necessarily a negative manner, and I can get behind that. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Let me know who you think is winning down below. Let me know who you think needs to respond. Does Kendrick need to respond hella soon, or does he lose? What you guys think? Just a couple of things with Cinema Corner. I'm watching this show called Sugar on Apple Plus TV. It's pretty cool, man. Colin Farrell is a private investigator. You could tell he kind of has some shaky past, did drugs in the past, but he's a really good PI. Little things he notices in cases he can help, can find out like figure out the case hella good. He's very personable. People like him so much that they just end up helping him and giving him information. So it's interesting to see how he does his job. He's a movie buff. He likes the noir kind of film age of 1933 and stuff like that. So they integrate a lot of those kind of shots and movie clips and stuff like that into the show to kind of give it that feel. And I really like it, man. You guys should check it out. Apple Plus TV. X-Men 97. This is Cinema Corner. I'm just kind of rapid firing right now. X-Men 97, though, episodes 5 and 6. Episode 5 more than 6 was really dope. Episode 5 came out last week. It was the Genosha episode. Bro, whoever have the actor's name because they want that not the actor, the director's name of the show. They want him to usher in the X-Men into the actual MCU, especially with the storylines and shit that he's able to incorporate. This season is crazy. It's incorporating real political kind of things, but giving it the X-Men spin, and still kind of leaving it in the fiction universe. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Like I said, episode 5, the Genosha episode was crazy. Spoiler alert, it just went down, yo. Mutants dying. It was just mass genocide on Genosha. If you know what Genosha is from X-Men, it is the island where it's governed by mutants, and the government know that a lot of mutants live there. And I think Magneto was pretty much in the comics or in the earlier cartoon, kind of governed Genosha and kind of like spoke for it when it came to government and political kind of issues and stuff like that. But, in this episode, we thought, it was a peaceful place and it was always advertised as a peaceful place for mutants to go. But throughout this season, you see that people are trying to recreate the Sentinel Project, and people still don't like mutants. So, yeah. they have the creator and the scientist that's creating all these Sentinels and that can kill mutants, and he's being manipulated by the main villain in the series, Sinister, Dr. Sinister. So it's a really cool series and it's really emotional. Just the places that this cartoon actually can go, being I don't even think it's rated mature, you know what I'm saying? So maybe PG or TV 14 or something like that. It can't, it's not, I definitely know it's not mature, but the passion it shows as far as people kissing and stuff, people dying, people getting killed. It's crazy that they're actually able to show it. I have to check the ratings, but it's giving a little low key Invincible vibes, but at the same time not going overboard and still keeping it MCU if you know what I mean. Again, the story is really cool. The relationship between we all know the relationship between Rogue and Gambit and Magneto. Just seeing it juxtaposed in this way is really cool. Like it's just interesting. It brings real life situations to the forefront. It's like Magneto can actually touch Rogue. So they had a relationship and I think they had sex and they felt something back in the past. And when she got back with Gambit, Gambit's not able to touch her, and they're still dealing with that. You know, Gambit knows he's not going to ever be able to fulfill Rogue the way Magneto is due to his, I think, the force fields and the magnetation of his hands, how he's able to bend the metal. It doesn't, I feel like their skin doesn't necessarily touch. He's protected by some kind of force field or some shit. I don't know exactly how it works, but when they're touching this shit, it kind of shows. But it's really interesting. And we see, spoiler alert, we see how Gambit sacrifices himself and dies. Spoiler alert, episode 6. I liked episode 6, but some episodes are just kind of throwing in spoilers for no reason, man. I do like the little side episodes because we do need a break from the main story, I guess. But the whole Storm side story, having her lose her powers, that's kind of sad, man. How you gonna let the Omega Mutant lose her powers and then struggle to get him back, struggle to find herself as a regular human and just go through all that shit? That side story is kind of interesting. But they're doing a lot of shit too, like psychedelic trippy shit, which is all, but it's kind of interesting as well. The show is definitely not made for kids, so I think it definitely has to be at least TV 14. But it's on Disney Plus now. Check it out for sure. There's a bunch of stuff actually out right now, especially dropping this weekend. I think Rebel Moon Part 2 just dropped. The Scar Giver. So I don't know if you liked part one. A lot of people didn't like part one, and part two actually only has a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. But don't let that, spoil it for you. Go ahead and check it out yourself. I just started it, so I can't give a really in-depth review. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like the first half too much. Zack Snyder is always good at, throwing the slow motion scenes. The shots are always hella cool. The music's always hella cool, but the writing is not the best. So I mean, the story is supposed to be on some kind of Star Wars type of epic shit, but the storyline is so loose, it's still kind of hard to know exactly what's going on. So I'm gonna deep watch it for you guys, get that watched, and then review it for y'all for sure, for sure. The challenge is still going. The vets, man, they need to stop fucking quitting. I'm not gonna waste my time and try to review this show if everybody's gonna fucking quit at the first sight of hardship. You know what I'm saying? You grown ass people, like these young ass competitors don't quit as much as these old ass people over basic ass arguments. Just don't talk to the person. Go walk to the other side of the house. You don't have to interact with these people. It's just crazy. It's just, yeah. Oh God, it's so annoying. But yeah, these hour-long episodes, we think we're in for a great episode, and somebody just walks out the house. They even had in the last episode somebody leave the house. They bring in a replacement, and then the person, fucking Tony, bro. Oh, spoiler alert again. Tony leaves because his brother is going through some shit. His brother's a wild boy. Prayers out to him, and hopefully nothing severe happened. But yeah. Yeah, you got to be there for your brother, but it just kind of seems like that's going to be detrimental because if he has nobody else to go to but you're going to be bailing him out a lot, Mr. Tony Man, and you're missing out on an opportunity for bringing home a lot of money for your kids. I'm sure you're going to do really well on that show. But a lot of the OGs are there. Again, I'm trying to get Veronica and Ashley on here to talk about it probably next week. I'm gonna try to plan that out next week, depending on my work schedule is and how I feel after work and stuff like that. Also, the Upshaws. New season of Upshaws, Wanda Sykes, I forgot the other lady's name, Mike Epps, a bunch of other people. Season 6. I didn't know it was that many seasons. There are only 6 episodes, so that's probably why there's so many seasons. But that's out now on Netflix as well. just a bunch of good TV out there for you guys to watch. But it's 420 today, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta watch movies today. If you guys want to smoke something, go watch a movie with your friends. If you guys need something to watch, watch one of those things. Watch that X-Men because that'll put you on your ass like, whoa. Go watch Sugar. Um, Again, Tokyo Vice just ended on my side, but if you go check that out, that's a good little thing to watch. Shogun. It's the week before the season finale, so go check that out as well. A lot of good stuff coming out spring and towards the summertime as well. That's when all the good stuff and the movies come out as well. So go check some shit out. But at this point, that's all I really got for y'all today, man. Short and sweet. Happy 420. Light one up for me, light one up for your friends. Go get you some Best of Bias merch. Hats, dad hats, beanies, bucket hats. No more shirts. I'm all out of shirts, but those are in production now. Still got a lot of patches left, so I can make to order. If you guys want a special color, style, let me know, and I'll go ahead and make that for you and get that popping. But yeah, it's in the podcast where I like to let them know where they can find me at. It's your boy Lydell De Niro, SAC underscore Lydell. SAC underscore Light, yeah. SAC underscore Lydell on Instagram. Patrick underscore Lydell on Snapchat. Best of Bias, you know, you can find us on YouTube, online, on what else we got? We got TikTok. Find us on TikTok. I don't have my own TikTok. It's really under Best of Bias page, so I try to put promotions and stuff on there. And you guys also pay attention to the SAC underscore Lydell. Pay attention to the Best of Bias Instagram page. Don't forget that as well. Updates and a lot of topics throughout the week. I'm posting there always on the story, letting you guys know about stuff that's happening in pop culture, whether it be sports, movies, business, politics. Check there. Even if it's not on the podcast, it's gonna be there informing y'all of something. I'm always there informing somebody about something because that's what I do. You feel me? Tell all your friends about the Best of Bias podcast. Subscribe, hit the bell on the YouTube page. That'll remind you anytime I drop a video because you know my videos be coming out sporadic, promos and stuff all day. I got stuff for y'all. Plenty of content. Plenty of tournaments on the YouTube page as well. Go to my playlist, and there's a bunch of other stuff there. Past episodes, we got tournaments, we had lives, all kind of stuff that you guys may have missed that you guys can check out on there. And if you want to be on the pod as well, just contact your boy. I gave you guys all those areas: Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. Hit me up anywhere. If you know me and you want to be on the pod, I know you enough to trust you to be on the pod because I love my family members. Just come on. Be on the pod, let me know. I got some topics lined up for you. We can chit chat, you know what I mean? But again, until next time, I'll try to be here on Friday. Try to get Damo on next week because he did say he wanted to be on. I think I'm going to try to aim to get Damo and Chelsea. So I'm going to try to plan an episode this weekend to get them on so I can have a little bit of guests for y'all so you can have somebody else pretty looking, not just your boy. But yeah, till next time, it's your boy. Lydell De Niro is the Best of Bias podcast. It's Saturday. It's 420. Don't get too high. Don't get too high and drive unless you got it. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you go. You know what I mean? But it's the Best of Bias podcast, and I'm out of here. Where that theme song at? Yeah. It's the best of bias. You need the earful. You should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah. It's the best of bias.